It has been 6 years since the Kyuubi no Kitsune Kurama was ripped from Kushina Namikaze, wife of the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze, and had its power resealed into their newborn daughter Natsumi. Natsumi Namikaze was declared a hero to the village. Forgotten by his own parents was her older brother Naruto Namikaze, the host of Kurama's soul. Natsumi looked exactly like Kushina when she was 6, only her facial structure was the same as Minato's. The complete opposite of Naruto, he looked like a mini Minato with Kushina's face. Both children had 3 whisker marks on each cheek due to Kurama's influence while they were in Kushina's womb. Over the last 3 years, Natsumi's personality has gone from being a kind child to a little bitch. When something didn't go her way, she complained until someone gave her what she wanted. She bullied other children, mostly Naruto. Overall, she had an attitude that could rival the Uchiha and Hyuga together, yet no one seemed to notice. Naruto's life has been a living hell, specifically over the last 3 years. He had no friends save a select few individuals. The villagers hated him for something he had no control over, and worst of all, his parents were brushing him aside like he is not worth nothing. Most people in his position would have taken the coward's way out of running away and nurse his hatred for Konoha. Every advance he made to get his parents to train him along with Natsumi was turned down. Minato and Kushina kept saying they would train him when he entered the academy at age 8, and every time they went back to training their precious daughter. Yet through all the bad times, Naruto maintained a positive outlook on life. Never once did he complain to his parents about the beatings that he received from mobs. And he never gave up on things that mattered to him, like trying to be part of his family. Yet despite this happy outside, on the inside Naruto was almost at his breaking point. Today was October 8th. Naruto was going to ask his parents again if they could train him or if he could at least join the Ninja Academy next year. But fate has a strange way of creating its heroes. Tao-chan, did you see that? Natsumi called out as she finished her morning training. Excellent job, Natsumi-chan, Minato said with a smile. You're as strong as your mother was when she was your age. Alright, you two, lunch is ready, so come and get it, Kushina called as she brought a tray of 3 ramen bowls to her husband and daughter. Once all 3 had eaten, Minato asked Natsumi to go inside so he could speak to Kushina in private. Naruto was just about to go outside, but he was stopped when Natsumi came in. Move it, Baka, she ordered as he stepped out of her way. As she continued to her room, Naruto reached for the door but stopped when he heard his father talking. You know what, Kushina? Minato asked his red-haired wife. In 2 days at her birthday party, I plan on allowing Natsumi to sign the Toad contract, Minato told her. Kushina looked at him like he was insane. Don't you think that it's a little too soon for her to sign the contract? She said in a concerning voice. Not at all. Once she signs it, I will begin to teach her the Rasengan, Minato said. Why do you want her to learn so much so soon? Minato asked Kushina. I won't have my child go out into the world and get herself killed because she wasn't prepared, said Minato. I see, that's understandable, said Kushina. But that's not all. I think Natsumi will be better as the heir of our clan, so I will announce on her birthday that she will be our heiress, said Minato, shocking Kushina and Naruto, who was listening on the other side of the door. But doesn't that title usually belong to Naruto? Asked Kushina, still shocked. That was Naruto's birthright. Naruto perked at this. His mother actually sounded like she cared even for him, even for a little bit. Yes, but I know she would be better leader, plus she is way stronger than Naruto ever will be, said Minato, not realizing how royally he just screwed up. But it's his birthright, you moron. You can't just take that from him. Kushina roared, furious that her husband had called their son a loser with no potential. Just who do you think you are? As clan head and Hokage, I can. Minato said in a tone that ended their little argument. Think about it, Kushina. Who has the higher chakra reserves? Natsumi. Who has been studying their tail off since they could walk? Natsumi. Who is the stronger of the two? Natsumi. And who would make a better clan head? Natsumi, Kushina said almost inaudibly. Now come, let's finish Natsumi's training for today, said Minato, getting a silent nod from the red-headed woman. Hearing this, Naruto ran to his room and locked the door. Using his small knowledge in sealing, he threw up a sound barrier and let his tears fall freely. In one instant he had lost everything that was important to him and his world came crumbling down. Eventually he cried himself to sleep and awoke in a very familiar sewer in front of a familiar cage. Kurama initially hated Naruto, but after several years of talking they had gotten closer to the point where they could almost call each other brother. Kurama really did not like the fact that his chakra was sealed into a brat like Natsumi. It was bad enough being sealed in Mito and then Kushina if he was completely sealed in Natsumi. Kurama had no doubt he would have grown a vagina from all the estrogen. So kid, what do you want to talk about this time? The large and intimidating form of Kurama said as Naruto approached his cage. Flashback no jutsu. 3 years ago, October 10th, on Naruto and Natsumi's 4th birthday. It wouldn't be fair to say Naruto's been completely neglected by those around him. For the first 3 years of his life he had an equal amount of spotlight on him. However, it was this particular day in which everything began to fall apart. That morning Naruto and Natsumi both woke up. At this point in time they were sleeping in the same room, right next to their parents' room. Both children flashed beaming smiles at each other before rushing to their parents' bed. Lightning fast the two twins pounced upon their parents and woke them up with a start. Mommy, 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 Naruto chanted as he bounced up and down on Kushina. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Natsumi echoed as she jumped on their father. Nice as it would have been to sleep in, as the sun wasn't even up yet, the two hyperactive 3, very soon to be 4-year-olds were just too excited. Between the matriarch and the patriarch, Kushina was the first one to wake up. She beamed a smile at Naruto and Natsumi, despite the blonde boy jumping on her for the last several minutes, before joining them in jumping on top of Minato. For the most feared shinobi of his time and often regarded as the strongest Kage, to see Minato Namikaze in a position where he was completely defenseless like he was now was completely ridiculous. Okay, I'm up. I'm up, the blonde Hokage said to his wife and 2 kids as he finally sat up. So what's so special about today, you two? Minato asked his twins. Why are you so hyperactive at this ungodly hour of the morning? Kushina chuckled as she pulled both twins onto her lap. Silly daddy, Naruto said, it's our birthday. Really? I had no idea, Minato asked with fake bewilderment. So how old are you two? Wait, don't tell me. 2 no 3. He Natsumi chuckled. Daddy is so silly. We're turning 4. The little redhead said, holding up 3 fingers. Oh, that's so cute, Natsumi-chan, Kusina said, kissing the little girl on the forehead, before nuzzling closely with Naruto. The entire day went wonderfully for the entire family. Little did any of them know, it would be the last day they would all spend together as one family. That night at Naruto and Natsumi's party, it seemed like the entire village was celebrating. There was a large festival, food and fireworks galore all over the village. However, unbeknownst to Minato and Kushina, many villagers were sending Naruto dirty looks. It wasn't a secret that Naruto held the soul while Natsumi held the chakra. Okay, maybe it was a secret for everyone under the age of 5. Minato wanted to ensure that his children had a normal life. They saw Natsumi as a heaven-sent savior while they saw Naruto as the devil incarnate. Either way, while Naruto received clothes, books and toys, Natsumi was getting blunt ninja tools, while both of them got things they wanted. Naruto could help but feel hurt when his parents told them they were going to start Natsumi's training. While everyone was busy celebrating, Naruto walked over to Kushina and tugged on the hem of her dress. Kushina turned to see her son. He had a slightly disheartened look on his face. Mommy, why is Natsumi getting twaining and I'm not? The 4-year-old asked. Well, you see, Naruto-chan, Natsumi has a lot more chakra than you. You know what chakra is, don't you? Yes, you said it was a special thingy that is inside of all of us and that it lets you do cool jutsu, like daddy's teleportation. Basically, she said, picking Naruto up, because Natsumi has more chakra than you, me, or even daddy. She needs to start her training early. Okay. Okay, Naruto said, slightly bummed. When can I start training? You can start next year, Kushina promised, a promise that would never be kept. Wimmies. Pinky promise, Kushina said, holding he pinky out to Naruto, who wrapped his own pinky around hers. Now come on, it's time for cake. Later that night, while Naruto was asleep in his new room, Minato and Kushina gave Naruto and Natsumi their own rooms today, as a sign they were getting older. The little blonde couldn't help but wonder why Natsumi had more chakra than anyone, or why that made her more special. Anywho, over the next year Naruto began to slowly fade into the background. He didn't say anything at first because he didn't know any better, so when the time came for their 5th birthday, Naruto was stunned when the party was practically for Natsumi alone. There were barely any presents for him. No one wished him a happy birthday, as Natsumi had gotten to Minato and Kushina first that day, and the trio spent the day together, without Naruto. Heck, the cake only said happy birthday Natsumi, which made Naruto tear up. Near the end of the evening, Naruto approached his parents. Mommy. Yes, Naruto? Kushina asked while she was busy cleaning up. Can I start training to be a ninja this year? Sorry Naruto, but Natsumi needs the training more. Can you wait one more year? Naruto deflated. His mom just broke their pinky promise. Sniff sniff, okay sniff. He slowly trudged off to his room, shutting the door behind him. While the blonde slept, his mind moved him into a sewer. What the? Where am I? The blonde wondered. I'm probably dreaming. Yeah, that's it. He proceeded to pinch himself. Ouch. Okay, maybe this isn't a dream. Naruto, a voice called out to him. While the better part of his mind told him to stay away from the voice, Naruto couldn't help but follow it. Soon the blonde 4-year-old found himself before a massive gate with a piece of paper with seal written on it. What is this? Schwack! A large claw poked through the gate in an attempt to skewer the young child. Ah! Naruto stumbled back in shock as the silhouette of a large dog-like animal's head emerged from the darkness in the cage. From what he could see, the beast had piercing red eyes and shining white teeth. What are you? I want to eat you so bad, but this damn cage gets in the way. So you have come to visit me at last, The monster time if you asked me. This is going in the books. My warden finally graces me with his presence. You're the nine-tailed fox, aren't you? Ding ding, we have a winner, the fox said in a ridiculously sarcastic tone. This is impossible. Gigi died to kill you. Ha. The fox laughed as if that pathetic old monkey could kill me. He merely separated my soul from my chakra, sealing me into you and my chakra into you, sister. Naruto's eyes widened. Now it made sense, why his parents were focusing more on Natsumi more than him, why she needed the training more than him. Did you bring me here? I did. Why? To talk. You are a rather interesting specimen, brat. Your family ignores you yet you do nothing. Why is that? My family doesn't ignore me, Naruto shot back. They love me just the same. Oh really? The fox asked, raising the last year of your life. They've been ignoring you. They don't love you. In fact, they would be better off if you weren't around. Liar. But it's true. Deep down you know it to be true. You're lying, Naruto said, trying to keep himself together. Needless to say, their first interaction was less than satisfactory. But over the next 2 years, whenever Naruto felt down, and he needed someone to talk to, he normally would confine with Kurama. Yes, the fox told Naruto his name. Mainly because he was sick of Naruto calling him Nine Tails all the goddamn time. Through all their little bonding succession, the two developed a brotherly relationship that would stand the tests of time. Flashback: no jutsu release. Naruto told Kurama what he heard his father say just a few minutes ago. Kurama saw this as the last straw. Nobody makes his little brother cry except him, though he would never admit it. You know what, kid, that does it. We are leaving now, he roared. Gather everything that you may need for a long trip and get out of here ASAP. Okay, Kurama, Naruto said as he left his mindscape. Once back in the real world, Naruto packed everything in his backpack. Kit's lucky that his mother at least showed some concern. If we come back, she may be able to redeem herself. Hey Kit, steal all of this clan scrolls and the scroll of sealing. They may come in handy, or they may fetch quite a high price if needed. Also, let's leave a goodbye present in the Hokage library. Kurama said with a sinister smirk that spread to Naruto's face as well. That night when the Namikaze family was asleep, Naruto woke up and placed his plan in action. Luckily for him, everywhere he went there were no guards, as if some outside force was willing him to succeed. Naruto snuck into the Hokage library and took the scroll of sealing and all his clan's secret scrolls. He then sealed all the scrolls into a small scroll and placed in his backpack. Then Naruto began planted remote paper bombs all over the place and left the building. Reaching the main gate, Naruto could not believe his luck once again. The gate was open just enough for him to slip through, and both guards were sleeping on the job. Once Naruto was outside the gates, he activated the bombs, and ran so fast it was like he wasn't even there. Kaboom! The explosion seemed to shake the entire village, waking everyone at once. Shinobi were scrambling to put the fires out as Minato arrived in only his pajamas. Minato was shocked someone had snuck into the village and blew up the Hokage library. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. All the scrolls concerning the families of Hokage were in there, along with countless other scrolls of great significance. I want that fire put out yesterday, Minato ordered, concerned about his clan scrolls. Save everything you can. Outside the village, Naruto was ecstatic. He had done it and he was proud of it. What he had done would severely cripple Konoha if their Hokage's clan could not learn their own jutsu. Alright Kurama, where do we go from here? Naruto asked. He actually never thought that he would get this far. Head east toward Mist. We are going to the ocean, Kurama replied. What do you want with the ocean? The old man used to tell us stories about it. He described it as a land where there was only one rule: be free. So you want freedom more than anything, right? Right, freedom is what all us Biju want more than anything. Freedom and being together. Well, Kurama, consider yourself free because that is where we are going. Naruto said with a smile that made Kurama start to tear up with happiness. Hey, are you crying, Kurama? No, I just have something in my eye, he said, even though he was clearly crying. If you say so, Naruto said, not willing to continue an argument he wouldn't win anyway, as he headed east toward the ocean and freedom. Outside the village, Naruto was ecstatic. He had done it and he was proud of it. What he had done would severely cripple Konoha if their Hokage's clan could not learn their own jutsu. Alright, Kurama, where do we go from here? Naruto asked. He actually never thought that he would get this far. Head east toward mist. We are going to the ocean, Kurama replied. What do you want with the ocean? The old man used to tell us about it. He described it as a land where there was only one rule: be free. So you want freedom more than anything, right? Right, freedom is what all of us Biju want more than anything. Well, Kurama, consider yourself free because that is where we are going. Naruto said with a smile that made Kurama start to tear up with happiness. Hey, are you crying, Kurama? No, I just have something in my eye, he said, even though he was clearly crying. If you say so, Naruto said, not willing to continue an argument he wouldn't win anyway, as he headed east toward the ocean and freedom. Back in Konoha, October 10th. It was a bad day for Minato. Because of the explosion 2 days ago, he was not going to be finishing his paperwork anytime soon. But he really wanted to teach his daughter the Rasengan, but that would be tough without their scrolls. His hand stopped writing as a nagging thought came to mind, like he was missing something very important. However, his thoughts were interrupted by someone knocking on his door. Come in, Minato called. He would worry about the thought later time. The door opened and his secretary walked in. Sorry to bother you, Hokage-sama, but you have a visitor who wished to see you. Who? Asked Minato, surprised that he would have visitors at this time. An old woman from a place called Amazon Lily. Minato had heard of the island Amazon Lily from his sensei Jiraiya years ago. Apparently it was a village run by only women who didn't marry, and they usually kill men on sight. Send her in, the Hokage ordered. The secretary nodded and walked out of the office. A minute later the door opened again and in walked an old woman with a snake-wrapped staff. Well, this is a surprise, Minato greeted the woman. I welcome you, miss. My name is Neon Hokage-sama, said the old woman with a bow. So, why are you here? Asked Minato. Hokage-sama, the reason to is why I am here is because of your son. What do you mean? Minato asked. A few years ago Jiraiya of the Sannin infiltrated our village. We chased him out after we caught him peeping on the royal bathhouse. But he managed to escape us. Only our current Empress Boa Hancock managed to catch him and return him to the village to be executed. The two fought for 4 days, after which Hancock won, and as the law of the Kyuja she has the right to execute him, but she chose to give her hand in marriage for some weird reason. Neon explained, with Minato not liking where this was going. We heard that he had an apprentice, you, while Hancock wanted to test you to see if you were worthy of marrying her. But by the time we located you it was too late for you to fight her, since you had already gotten married to Kushina Uzumaki. That is until word reached us that your wife had given birth to twins 6 years ago. 1 boy and 1 girl. My lady wishes to have her daughter marry your son, while she is still lives, as she suffering from a rare and incurable disease that has killed many an empress. Nyan-san, I had no idea my sensei had done such a thing, Minato said, but I will follow this agreement. You don't have a problem with this situation, do you, Nyan-san? Naruto, my son will be very strong, Minato told her. Inside he was sweating his balls off. He hadn't even considered training Naruto for at least another year. I see, very well, I will inform her of your decision, but do note this: should you not follow the agreement, then we will make sure that Konoha suffers, Neon said. Make sure that the boy is strong too, as I will not accept a weak grandson-in-law, and I am sure that the heir to the Kyuja has been well trained. You should know that if he fails to defeat the princess he will die. Neon warned as she finally left the office. 11 years, that is all I am giving you to prepare your son for the fight. As he is your son, he should be more than ready by now, as I am sure he has begun his training. I'll warn you that Hancock is extremely powerful, so expect her daughter to be like her. Shit was the only thing going through his head. Had he known of this sooner he wouldn't have denied Naruto's requests for training. Now he 11 years to teach him all he could. That was more than enough time. If he taught him the Kagebushin no Jutsu first, Naruto could surpass Natsumi in all field. It was a good thing he had made a copy of it for his personal library since the originals burned in the explosion. Later that day, "I'm home," Minato called. Kushina and Natsumi stopped their Kenjutsu training, basically everything Natsumi knew by memory since the scrolls were now destroyed. The older redhead smiled at her husband while the little redhead ran over to give her father a hug. Kushina walked over and gave Minato a kiss. "You're early today, Minato-kan," Kushina said with a smile. "Well, something came up that requires the utmost attention," the blonde Hokage said. "I see. Well, what is it?" his wife asked. "Before I tell you, Natsumi dear, why don't you go and get Naruto from his room?" Minato said to his daughter, whose eyes grew. "Naruto? Why?" Natsumi asked, hiding her anger. "Well, I think it's time we start his training alongside yours," her father says with a large smile. "Really?" The girl asked only to see him nod, but unknown to her parents she was seething at the idea. Natsumi jumped into the air with fake happiness as she headed to her brother's room. Minato watched her run to go get Naruto. He then turned to Kushina, who was looking at him with a confused look in her eyes. They had made the decision to not teach Naruto anything and allow the academy to teach him, as Natsumi needed the training more so than he because she held the fox's chakra. Now here was Minato saying that they would be training Naruto also. "Why the sudden change of heart?" Kushina asked suspiciously. Well, Minato began to explain about how the woman from Amazon Lily wants Naruto to fight their princess to see if they should marry because Jiraiya was stupid, which shocked Kushina. Minato then told her about the threats Neon had made to him if he didn't honor the agreements, even if he didn't promise the Kuja anything. Kushina had been silent, however she knew that since the Hidden Leaf Village was the strongest and had the most clients, then they would suffer a lot. "So we have 11 to train Naruto, then we might as well get started. I'm sure that he will love the idea," Kushina said with a smile. "Alright, so Chikun is going to start his training." However, they both noticed that Natsumi had not returned. Minato and Kushina looked at each other before going upstairs to their son's room. Both stopped. Now that they thought about it, they had never been in Naruto's room either. They didn't even remember buying him any decorations. Studying themselves, they pushed the door, but it was locked. Terrified, maternal instincts delivered a powerful kick to the door, throwing it off its hinges. No words were exchanged as they finally saw the inside of the room of their son. To them, the room was the definition of plain. There was nothing on the walls, the floor was bare, and no clothes were anywhere to be seen. Only things out of place were several books about sealing and basic chakra control. Minato walked around the room and was scared. Where was Naruto? No, more like was the attack a distraction to kidnap Naruto? He saw an envelope out of the corner of his eye. He grabbed it and tore it open to read it. "To whom it may concern. If you're reading this, then congratulations, you have just remembered you had a son. Seeing as though everything that should have been mine, including my birthrights, were taken from me. I heard every word you said, Minato. I have decided to leave this village. I am sick of this village, its people, the beatings from the villagers. But most I am sick of my family. I hope to never see any of you again, and if I do, I'll spill your guts on sight and run your corpse up a pole for the world to see. I have already said my goodbyes to the people that matter. Mikado-chan, Itachi-ni, Sasuke-ni, Sarutobi-jiji, I thank you for your sacrifice and gift 6 years ago, and Kone and Iruka-ni. To the Namikaze family, don't bother coming after me. I am way ahead of you, probably by a good week or month at the rate you actually come to my room, and if you do get me, I will try again even harder than before. I hope you all burn in hell. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is dead to the world." With every word he read, his eyes became wider, tears began to form. And he was also gaining a great amount of guilt because his son had heard what he had said, and for not noticing that his son had been kidnapped. Well, that's what he thought anyway. "Otao-san, where's Naruto-kan?" asked Natsumi, who just came into the doorway. Gotta give props to Konoha's #1 actress, since she was faking concern about her brother on the outside, but in the inside she was jumping around like she won the lottery. As Kushina finished reading the letter, her hand covered her mouth as a waterfall of tears were rolling down her face. "This isn't good," Kushina, Minato said. "He must have been forced to write this and was kidnapped by whoever blew up the library." Obviously he was ignoring the fact that it was their fault that Naruto was gone. Kushina looked like she had her heart ripped out of her chest. At the same time, she wondered how the hell they had not noticed his absence after an attack of such magnitude. First thing she did was make sure Natsumi was okay. She never checked to see if Naruto was okay. She couldn't call herself a good mother. Hell, she couldn't even call herself a mother. She thought that she was the best mom ever, but now reading the note she began was all indeed true. She could not name one thing about Naruto, not one, while with Natsumi she could write a book. Maybe he liked ramen, maybe, and even if he did she could not name the flavor. Minato saw her cry, and the only thing he could do now was try and rescue his son from the terrorists, or the Leaf and his family would suffer dearly because of their negligence. So are we not going to have my party? Natsumi asked, still faking sadness. Party? Your big brother is missing, most likely being held hostage, and all you can think about is your party? Minato roared, scarring the girl. Never before had he gotten this mad at her. Hell, he had never gotten mad at her. Go to your room, young lady. We will discuss your priorities later. Kushina said in her commanding mother tone that she had only used on Naruto when he had asked for training. Thinking about that made her break down into more tears. All he had wanted was training and time with his family, and what did they do? Brush him away like an annoying fly on the wall. Just then they heard Jiraiya call for Minato. What is it, Jiraiya-sensei? We are in the middle of something very important. Well, that can wait because the Great Toad told me that his initial prophecy has changed. What? Minato screamed. The prophecy relating to their daughter has changed? What does that mean? What do you mean it changed? The prophecy no longer says that the child will be the child of two great shinobi. Instead it says he bears a mark of freedom and faith upon his back, the colors of a king surround his image, and will be the child of two great pirates. Pirates? Minato was stunned. The child of the prophecy that would end the cycle of hatred was going to be the son of pirates. Translation: Natsumi was never the chosen child. Now what were you going to say before Minato? Naruto was kidnapped during the attack last night. I need you to organize search parties to search for him and kill his kidnapper, and give them this order: don't come back until you find him. He ordered. Right away, Hokage-sama. Jiraiya said, this is quite the coincidence. Naruto is kidnapped and at the same time the prophecy changes. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, and Jiraiya, see me later so we can discuss why I was not told about the Kyuja, Minato said as Jiraiya shined away. Naruto had been on the run for a whole week. He avoided entering any form of civilization without some kind of disguise and fear that people would recognize him. Roughing it for a week seemed to do wonders for him. He had run out of food and water roughly a day ago, had not slept in 3 days because he didn't want to get caught. If it was not for Kurama's soul, Naruto would have been gone down so much sooner. So Naruto continued his journey for another day before exhaustion got the better of him. While your survival skills are sure lacking, kid. Shut up, stupid fox. I told you to pack enough to last you a week. It's been a week, Kurama. See, this is what you get for listening to me, Kurama said as if it was common knowledge. What? Naruto practically screamed. This whole runaway thing was your idea in the first place. Yeah, well, whatever. Let's keep moving before and Leaf Shinobi find us. No good. I reloaded and yawned some sleep. Naruto said and closed his eyes before drifting off to sleep. About 10 miles away, Naruto was here. Kakashi. Pakken said as Kakashi and his team of Anbu arrived. Thanks, Pakken. Can you find anything else? Kakashi asked, worried. Kakashi was never one of the people who hated Naruto at all. He had simply forgotten that he was there most of the time. Kakashi dreamed of the day when Minato would let him train both his children. He already put in the request to have both on his team when they became genin. Minato had told Kakashi about how important it was for them to retrieve Naruto alive from his kidnapper. But the more they followed Naruto's trail, the more Kakashi doubted that he was kidnapped. Pakken was an excellent tracker, but he could only find Naruto's scent, which usually meant that he was alone the whole time. The rainstorm 2 days ago had really thrown them off for a while, but Kakashi felt like they were getting close. Judging from the scent, I would say that he is roughly 10 miles east of here. That puts him almost at the coast. If he goes out to sea, we will never find him. All right, men, you know what to do, Kakashi said as they began to run east. Hold on, Naruto, we're coming. Back with Naruto. Naruto began to stir after sleeping for a good 10 minutes. Getting his bearings, he got up ready to the final distance. However, a noise in the bushes caught his attention. Scared that it was an Anbu, Naruto pulled out a kunai ready to defend himself, but he was totally unprepared for what came out. A tiger came out of the brush. It was defiantly not a normal tiger because it was at least 3 times the size of a normal tiger. It easily carried half a carcass of a normal-sized tiger in its mouth as it looked around. The beast had tons of scars all over its body, most noticeably the long scar running down its right eye as it set its sights on poor little Naruto. With a massive chomp, the beast swallowed the carcass whole as it began to quickly move towards Naruto. Getting faster with each step, Naruto closed his eyes and waited for the monster to attack. Suddenly the sound of slashing swords filled the air, followed by a low growl. Naruto opened his eye just enough to see the monster fall to the ground dead. Standing before him was an imposing figure wearing a dark green robe with a red sash around his waist. The man had green hair, 3 earrings on his left ear, a black bandana tied to his left bicep and 3 sword sheaths on his right hip. His katana were a beautiful yet fearsome sight to behold. The blade in his left hand had a flame-like design in it and gave off an aura that made Kurama nervous. The blade in his right hand was black with a distinct red edge and its guard had flower edges. This blade practically screamed awesomeness. His final sword was still in its sheath, but the hilt was white and gave an aura of something Kurama couldn't put his paw on. "Hey, you okay, kid?" the man asked as he sheathed his swords. "Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you," Naruto said as he got into a bowing position. "I wonder if the idiot cook can cook this thing," the swordsman said, not really paying attention to Naruto. "Not like he could kill something this big," he added with a grin. What's your name, mister?" Naruto asked, not really sure how to handle this situation. "You know it is customary to introduce yourself before asking for another's name," the man said as he turned around. Getting a frontal view of the man, Naruto noticed that he had 2 distinct scars on his body. One over his left eye, like Kakashi, with a much larger scar running from his left shoulder to his right hip. Just looking at it made Naruto shiver, thinking about how much that one hurt. "Oi kid, aren't you going to introduce yourself?" he asked, snapping Naruto out of his trance. "Oh yeah. My name is Naruto. And you are?" Naruto said, extending his hand. "Zoro. Rarano is Zoro." The newly named Zoro said, taking Naruto's hand and shaking it. "So Zoro, what brings you all the way out here?" "I should be asking you the same question," Zoro retorted. "I asked you first," Naruto said, holding his hands up defensively. "Well, I went for a morning, then when I started to head back to my ship, the whole island's geography changed on me, and to make things worse, those idiots moved the ship. So I figured I might as well bag some food before I get back, and that kitten over there looked tasty," Zoro said, pointing his thumb at the monster of a tiger. "I told you why I'm here, so tell me why you are here," Zoro said as he sat cross-legged across from Naruto and pulled a bottle of sake out of nowhere as he began to drink. "Well, I ran away from a hellhole of a home about a week ago, and I have been living in these woods ever since. Trying to get to the ocean since it's been a dream of mine for a while now. Fine by me," Zoro said as he took another swing of sake. "Aren't you going to ask me why I ran away or even what my dream is? No, cause you see, we all have our reasons for doing thing. It isn't my place to pester you with questions about yourself. By the way, Zoro, what village are you from? You don't have a forehead protector, so I'm guessing you aren't even a shinobi," Naruto concluded as a small grin of amusement appeared on Zoro's face. Zoro laughed. "A ninja? I've been called many things, but never a ninja. I am a pirate," he said with a tone that resonated pride. Pirate. The word just echoed in Naruto's mind. He couldn't get rid of these thoughts. In all the books he read, pirates were not on his favorites list, but Zoro was different. If he was like a pirate from the book, he would have let that tiger kill him, but he didn't. "Anyway, Naruto, you look pretty tired and hungry. Tell you what, I'll take you with me if you help me find my ship, okay?" Zoro asked, standing up. "Sounds good to me," Naruto answered. Before he knew it, Zoro swung Naruto onto his back while his arms hung around Zoro's neck. Using his right hand, Zoro grabbed the tiger corpse and headed towards the shore. "I'm Zoro, east is that way," Naruto said, pointing behind them. "Damn," Zoro said as turned around and was now heading the correct way. "Wow. Just wow. We are literally 60 seconds from the shore and this guy can't find it. I would not be surprised if he could get lost on a straight path," Kurama said to himself. "Stop right there," a voice called out. Zoro turned around only to find himself face to face with 20 Anbu, each with a leaf symbol on their forehead protectors. "Naruto-sama, we are here to rescue you and kill your kidnapper. The leader said your family is extremely worried about you." Naruto tensed slightly when his family was mentioned, though it went unnoticed by everyone except for Zoro. Speaking of Zoro, because they found them like this, Zoro was going to be killed for something he did not do. "Friends of yours, Naruto?" Zoro asked, feeling the need to protect the blonde. "Not really, they are here at hellhole of a home. You should run, these guys are Anbu level, the best the village has to offer," Naruto warned. "The best, correct?" Zoro said as he released the tiger corpse and moved his hands towards his swords. "Then this should be fun," he said as he drew 2 of his swords and a wild grin crept onto his face. Kurama could only think of 2 words to describe what he saw in Zoro right now. "Oh shit. Hold on tight, Naruto, and shut your eyes," Zoro ordered. Naruto hesitantly complied. Zoro burst forward in a burst of speed that stunned the Anbu. He was extremely fast. Before any could react, slashes erupted from 4 Anbu around the commander. Turning to the 6th shinobi on his right, Zoro cocked his arms and unleashed 2 air pressure waves. Nanajuni pound ho, he called out as the wind sliced and blew away those poor Anbu. 7 more Anbu tired to get him from behind, thinking they had the advantage with numbers at close range, that is until Zoro said Saikuru and quickly spun around, effectively dispatching those 7. Leaving only 3 Anbu out of 20 in 10 seconds. For these poor bastards, Zoro gave them a death glare and the 2 more inexperienced Anbu fell to the ground and literally pissed themselves in terror. Zoro bonked both on the head with Shusu, knocking them both out cold. Suddenly Zoro sheathed his 2 swords. As the commander looked confused, Zoro said Notoriu Iai Rashomon as he suddenly appeared behind the Anbu leader and 2 massive slashes erupted on him. These guys were some of the best? What a bunch of wimps, Zoro said as he put his swords away. Alright Naruto, you can open your eyes now. When Naruto opened his eyes, he was met with the sight of 20 downed Anbu. To say he was stunned would be an understatement. He was shocked, to say the least. Zoro had taken down 20 Anbu shinobi in less than a minute. Come on kid, let's get going, Zoro said as he once again headed off in the wrong direction, only for Naruto to correct him. 10 minutes later, Kakashi and his Anbu team looked at the scene before them with wide eyes. 20 battle-seasoned Anbu were beaten to a bloody pulp. Thankfully none were dead, though some may be if they didn't get treated right away. Your orders, sir, one of the Anbu asked. Pakin, what do you smell? Kakashi asked his dog. Well, there are quite a few smells here, Kakashi, mostly this Anbu team. But besides them and Naruto, I smell another human smell, one that I haven't smelled before. It hangs closely with Naruto's scent and goes west before turning around to go east. I would say whoever made this mess was carrying Naruto the entire time, and he seems to have a benevolent side since all will survive. I just don't know what to make of it, the nin dog summed up. Thanks Pakin. Everyone gather up the wounded and head back to Konoha. We need to hold off the search so we can save these men. Get Jiraiya to pick up where we are leaving off. Now. Kakashi ordered. Whoever did this has Naruto-kun, but it's hard to tell if they are friend or foe. Naruto, if you are still alive, I hope you can escape and come back with us. Team returned to Konoha. It had been a long trip for Naruto and Zoro to get to the beach. Why, you ask? Because he seemed to get lost every single second, going left when he should have gone right or back the way they came. But now seeing the beach, Naruto couldn't help but feel happiness flow through him. He was so close to starting his journey for his dream. Soon the silence was broken by a certain green-haired swordsman. Damn bastards. Where the hell did they move the ship to? Zoro demanded as he helped Naruto off his back. I swear it was right here, he shouted, gesturing his arms to the empty space in front of them. Looking around, Naruto noticed an odd shape sitting close to the beach, roughly half a mile north of where they were. Upon further eye strain, Naruto noticed the object had a distinct ship-like shape, and there was what looked like a person and an animal waving them over. Hey Zoro, is that your ship over there? Naruto asked as he pointed to the ship. Taking a look, Zoro said, well, what do ya know, it's Usopp and Chopper. Let's go, Naruto. Sure enough, Zoro began running towards the 2 figures, leaving Naruto in the dust, desperately trying to catch up to no avail. By the time Naruto reached Zoro and the other 2, they seemed to be deep in conversation that in the reindeer seemed to be replaced by a blue-nosed tanuki. Oh guys, this is Naruto. Zoro said, gesturing towards Naruto, and Naruto, this is Usopp, gesturing to the man with the long nose, and Chopper gesturing to the tanuki wearing the funny hat. Nice to meet you, Naruto. I am the great Captain Usopp, feared warrior of the seas, but you can call me Usopp if you want, Usopp said, shaking Naruto's hand. Okay, Naruto replied. Hi, I'm Chopper. The reindeer tanuki thing named Chopper said. Holy shit, it can talk, Naruto screamed as he jumped back. He really hadn't expected Chopper to talk. Then again, it was a tanuki with cloths and antlers and a blue nose, so it really shouldn't surprise him. Ah, Chopper screamed as he hid behind Zoro's leg. Thought he was peeking at Naruto all wrong, causing him to sweat drop. Sorry Chopper-san, it's just I have never seen a tanuki like you before, Naruto said, apologizing. You think apologizing and calling me unique makes me happy, asshole, Chopper retorted as he seemed to do a happy dance from the compliment. Wait, I'm not a tanuki, I'm a reindeer, can't you see my antlers? He yelled as he pointed out his antlers. Come on, let's meet the rest of the crew. Zoro head towards the ship. The ship was a brig sloop-type ship with a lion flower sun figurehead adorning the bow. Other than nest with another large room at the stern sitting just above a large cannon-like projection. To some Naruto thought it was something out of an anime. As they climbed up the ladder, Naruto wondered what the rest of the crew was like, since these three seemed to be very nice and very unpirate-like. What have we gotten ourselves into? Kurama thought. I just hope that anyone else we meet is more normal. Boy, was he in for a rude awakening. Naruto was brought out of his thoughts as he took his first steps on the deck. The deck was a lawn complete with trees, a slide and a swing. Looking around, Naruto concluded that this place was wonderful. Oi guys, we're back and we found Zoro, Usopp called out as he got on the ship. Almost immediately 6 other people came out of the kitchen. 2 were regular-sized men roughly the same age as Usopp and Zoro. One had black hair, a straw hat, an open red cardigan revealing an X-shaped scar on his chest. He also wore blue shorts with a yellow sash and sandals. The other was a blonde whose hair covered his right eye and showed a curly eyebrow over his left. He wore some kind of suit and was smoking a cigarette. Then Naruto noticed 2 women. One had long flowing orange hair, a tattoo on her left shoulder, and wore nothing but bikini top and skinny jeans. The other one had black hair, white skin, and wore a revealing purple top with a long black skirt. Inside his mind, Naruto thought both women were freaking gorgeous. That was confirmed when Kurama let out a loud wolf whistle. Thank God only Naruto could hear him, otherwise he probably would have gotten hit. The next 2 really shocked Naruto. One was a large man with massive arms that, like most of his body, seemed to be made of steel, who wore nothing except an open Hawaiian shirt and a Speedo. The other was dressed like a rock star skeleton with an afro. Seeing these 2, all Naruto could think about was WTF, a weirdo and a skeleton. Kurama was thankful that 6 people on this ship were normal looking at least. Zoro, where the hell have you been? We've been waiting here for the last 2 hours. Hansalti, we need to do something about your horrible sense of direction, the orange-haired woman scolded. What are you talking about, she-devil? My sense of direction is flawless, Zoro yelled back. Oi Shidamirimo, how dare you yell at Nami Swan, the blonde man yelled as he launched a kick at Zoro's head, only for it to be blocked by Zoro's sword. You say something, Arrow Cook. Zoro roared. Then bring it on. And so began another of their daily, if not hourly, fights, while everyone pulled out some popcorn and watched. There goes my hopes of everyone being Sane, Kurama said to himself. At this moment Naruto spoke up. Shouldn't somebody stop them? Causing everyone to stop what they were doing and turn towards the blonde. Who are you? The straw hat wearing boy asked. Alright, I almost forgot, guys, this is Naruto, Zoro said, gesturing towards Naruto. Naruto, this is Luffy, Nami, Robin, Frankie, Brook and the stupid cook, Zoro said as he pointed to each individual. Hey was heard from Sanji. Hi, it's nice to meet you all, Naruto said. You all seem like nice people, he added with a smile. Most of the Straw Hat Pirates realized something about this child. He was almost like a blonde Luffy. Naruto-san, why don't you tell us about yourself? Brook the skeleton said. Well, my name is Naruto. I come from a village of shinobi. I like beef ramen, a certain fuzzball I know, reading, training to be a ninja, and you guys, I guess. I hate people who treat their friends or comrades like nothing, and those that cannot tell the difference between a sealing scroll and the objects sealed inside. My dream is to adventure, mock lots of friends, and free my best friend. Believe it, Naruto. You're a ninja? That's so cool. You have to join my crew. Luffy yelled, well, more like ordered, as he pumped both his fists in the air and branded a smile much too large for his face. This didn't like childish antics. So Naruto-kun, what brings you here? The woman named Robin asked, ignoring the commotion behind her. I hope this one's normal, Kurama told Naruto. Naruto said he wants to come with us, so we are taking him. Zoro said, causing everyone to freak out, even Naruto. He had not really said that it was all Zoro's idea anyway. What? Everyone shouted, well, everyone except Luffy, who was excited to be getting a new nakama, though everyone ignored his shouts of alright, we have a new nakama. Zoro, we can't just take a kid. What about his parents? They are probably worried sick about him, Nami shouted as she pulled on his cheek. Luffy, will you be quiet for 1 second? Turning to Naruto, she asked, hey Naruto, sorry about what this idiot said, but do you want us to take you home? I'm sure your family is very worried. I don't have a family, Naruto said very quietly. Half true. What? Nami asked, stunned by his response. Well, to be more specific, I have a family, but they've ignored me since the day I was born in favor of my little sister, Naruto said. This stunned the entire crew. Luffy, were just about to head to Konoha and raze it to the ground for what was done to their friend. What the hell? Nami screamed. No parent should do that to their child. Why on earth did your parents do that? Nami remembered how the day she returned to her village after she was forced to join Arlong's crew. The villagers had almost literally thrown her out of the village and demanded that she never return. Though she was thankful that they knew her true motive. End of their deal. Chopper began to think back to his childhood. Being born with a blue nose, his herd treated him poorly just for being different, and when he ate the human fruit they threw him out of the herd. Chopper had then tried to find solace with humans, but they treated him as a monster. He would have been alone forever had he never met Dr. Hiluluk, the man that took him in and treated him like a son. Robin's mind flashed with all the scenes from the time she was only a little girl. Shunned by her family and the villagers because of her powers, Robin's only friends were the island's scholars and one giant named Jaguar D. Saul the man to this world alone. Her mind then flashed to the day where she regained her. She lost everything as her life on the run began. Naruto noticed that she, Chopper and Robin were looking at him with understanding eyes as if they had lived his life, making him curious about their lives in particular. Maybe he would ask about it one day. That's not even the half of it, Naruto added, catching everyone by surprise. What? Robin asked with a sense of motherly concern for the boy. Hey Naruto, maybe you should tell them all the details about your life. I got a feeling that these guys won't treat you any differently. Kurama told Naruto, besides if anything it'll get you a hug from those two bombshells. Kurama added as a perverted grin crossed his face. If you want I can tell you guys the whole story. Naruto asked. Sure Naruto-kun, you can tell us, Robin answered for the whole crew. So Naruto told them his story, how he had the soul of Kurama sealed within him and his sister had his chakra sealed in her. How his parents turned him away every time he approached to just spend time with them. How he was beaten on a regular basis by idiot villagers and nobody stopped them, not even his father. He also mentioned how there were a select few that treated him with kindness. And how he eventually met Zoro and how he kicked the shit out of the Anbu sent to get him. Once he finished, Naruto realized that Luffy and Zoro were sleeping. Frankie was bawling his eyes out while everyone else was too stunned to say anything. Before he knew it, into a warm embrace. Looking up he saw that it was Robin and Nami who made him, much to Kurama's perverted delight. Stupid arrow fox, Naruto thought. Naruto-kun, I am going to tell you something an old friend once told me. Robin and blue eyes, no one is ever born into this world alone. Somewhere out there you'll find people who'll protect you. And remember to laugh when times get too difficult like this. Darashi, she started laughing. The rest of the jerked by her sudden laughter. Clearly she had never done that before. A smile spread on Naruto's face as he joined her in laughter. Soon the entire crew joined in the laughter and forgot all their problems. The sound of Darashi rang throughout the night. And he's gone over to the insane side of the force, folks. Backing out of the hug, Nami started to order the crew around. Frankie, take the helm. Brook, Chopper, Usopp and Sanji, ready the sails, we are leaving. As you wish, Nami Swan. Sanji swooned in love cook mode while everyone else said aye aye. And you stood over the sleeping forms of Luffy and Zoro. Wake up, she roared as she stomped her foot into both of their faces, waking the men up. Hey Naruto. Yes Kurama. Don't piss that Nami girl off if you know what's good for you, Kurama said. No complaints on this end, fuzzball, Naruto thought as he watched her beat up Luffy and Zoro. Oi Nami. That, Luffy asked his navigator, covered in lumps and bruises. Awaiting your orders, Captain, Nami replied. All right, set sail. Luffy ordered as they left the elemental nations behind, never looking back. They would not return here for 11 years. Here we go, Kurama. Naruto filled his eyes. As he wiped them away, he did not notice the figure on the beach calling his name. Back in Konoha, Minato was pissed off and extremely distraught. First, Kakashi returned to the village against his orders, although he did return with 20 Anbu in critical condition. When the Anbu leader had awoken, Minato asked him if they had found Naruto, but the Anbu stared Minato in the eye and said, you didn't tell us that we would be fighting a demon, Hokage-sama. Hearing this, Minato began to beat the poor Anbu because he thought the Anbu called Naruto a demon. How dare you call my demon, you sorry excuse for an Anbu, Minato yelled as he landed more punches. But Hokage-sama, I was talking about the man that had kidnapped Naruto. I would never. Cracked jaw. Hearing this, Minato stopped and calmed down and began to debrief the Anbu. When he utters from the Anbu. Gathering up his courage, the leader spoke. He was a swordsman, most likely a samurai. He wore a green robe with a red sash. He used 2 swords with such skill that I believe him to be superior to Kushina-sama in terms of swordsmanship. At this, Minato was stunned. Kushina was the best swordsman in all the Land of Fire. She was on par with several of the swordsmen from Tetsu, Kiri and Kumo, including the famed Zabuza Mamachi, Daru, and several samurai. And according to the Anbu, the man who kidnapped Naruto made her look like a noob. Is there any other information we may need to know? Minato asked, clearly concerned. That was no man. The Anbu informed. Kushina Namikaze was having a very bad week. The day Naruto was missing, she demanded that she go out and look for him, but Minato told her that was a bad idea. She had slapped him for this. Their son her to stay put. Kushina had instead gone to see the people mentioned in Naruto's note. Both and Iruka had get one word out. When she had gotten to the Uchiha household, she was met by Mikoto, her best friend. She was met with a better response. Mikoto had initially ignored Kushina when she tried to talk to her. So to talk to Sasuke and Itachi instead. Both boys had treated Naruto well, almost like another brother. As such, both were hesitant about talking to Kushina because they knew how much she and everybody else in the village had hurt him. Itachi, being the bigger man, talked to Kushina in private, so nobody knew he was talking to her. He told her about all the times he and Anko had saved Naruto from the villagers. How the she cried a waterfall. She had seen just how badly she had failed her son. No, not her son. She doubted would ever happen. Kushina vowed in front of Itachi that when she finds Naruto, she would make it up to him, no matter what the cost. To make matters worse, her daughter Natsumi's behavior had gone from bad to worse, and Kushina had noticed this while Minato did not. Upon discovering their daughter's behavior, Kushina felt disgusted with herself. She had ignored her son for this brat of a child. Not one to give in, Kushina had resolved herself to change Natsumi's attitude for the better, which was tough when her husband and the entire village were against her, thinking Natsumi was perfect and could do no wrong. For the last week, looking for Naruto or trying to learn about him, Kushina spent most of her time in his room, crying to herself, unable to forgive herself for the atrocity she had committed against her son. There had been exactly 4 nights where she slept on his bed, staining his pillow with her tears, all the while repeating one name: Naruto. It had since Naruto joined the Straw Hat Pirates. For Naruto, this was the best thing to happen to her. Naruto leaned against the starboard railing as he found himself deep in thought about the Straw Hats. All the Straw Hats were extremely good to him, to the point that Kurama mentioned that these guys would march straight into hell, kick the shit out of every demon there, and throw a party just for you despite their apparent insanity. Life on the been far from normal, for a normal person, but to the Straw Hats it was typical. Luffy, Chopper and Usopp running around acting like little children sometimes broke, and Naruto would join them. Naruto saw the immature trio as brothers, since despite being at least a decade older than him, that acted like kids scared him. He enjoyed playing games with them. At first Naruto was freaked out, a living skeleton, but soon his idiotic antics and skull jokes won Naruto over. No matter what mood Naruto was in, Brook's music always seemed to cheer him up, and he could not help but to sing the crew despite not knowing the words to Bink's sake or any other matter. Frankie could be found working on crazy inventions in his workshop, sometimes with Usopp. Both of them were great inventors in their own right. Naruto couldn't help but call their inventions, in the words of Frankie, super. Sanji was found most in Nami, which Naruto found quite funny how he enters his love mode whenever a girl talks to him. Speaking of Sanji, Naruto had never tasted anything so delicious before in his life. Sure, he comparing Sanji's food to the food he ate in Konoha was like a truck going 70 miles per hour versus a squirrel on the highway, no contest. Nami typically was working on her maps, or she was sunbathing on the deck. Kurama really enjoyed when she sunbathed. Naruto learned day one to never piss her off, so he stayed on her good side Sadly, this didn't last long, 3 days. That was a new record, as he soon realized that when you play tag or have a mature trio Nami, sleeping Zoro and Robin, it's instant death. Despite her violent and greedy nature, Nami acted like an older sister to Naruto, caring for him as any older sister would. In all honesty, Naruto was rather grateful to now have an older sister instead of a younger brat. Zoro could almost always be found outside, either sleeping or training, or surprisingly both at the same time. Naruto had picked up that Zoro was extremely lazy but strong at the same time. Sometimes Naruto found himself watching Zoro train, and every time he was astounded by his strength. Kurama told Naruto there was no way he was even his level of strength. Ever since he had bond with swordsmen, as if no matter what happened or decision Naruto would make, Zoro would be there to protect and support him all the way. Something he had never felt with his real parents. The person Naruto liked to spend the most time with was Robin. Most of the time she could be found reading a book in a lawn chair. On the Naruto was extremely unsure about what he should be doing, so she invited him to sit next to her and read a book, which he accepted. As time progressed, Naruto discovered that Robin had quite the morbid sense of humor, even though this unnerved him. He began to see Robin more and more as a mother to him, which made up for all her little quirks. Just these 2 weeks had made Naruto a better person than he could have met the Straw Hat Pirates. Even if Kami himself offered Naruto a chance to live with Minato and Kushina as their son in an alternate universe, he would turn it down in favor of a bunch of ragtag pirates. They were his friend, his nakama now. Sunny and the ocean were his home. Not even Kami himself can take that away from him. Naruto's mind drifted when suddenly he was hit in the back of the head by a water balloon. Naruto turned around only to have his face meet by another water balloon. Come on Naruto, play with us. Chop. Holding water balloons. Sure, but I'm warning, he was cut off by another water balloon to the face by Usopp. Hey, I wasn't ready. Too. Another balloon at Naruto, igniting an all-out water balloon war. The water from 4 participants all the way to everyone except Nami and Robin. Frankie modified his body to shoot balloons from his cannons, which distracted the idiot trio just enough to be hit by Naruto. Brook ran around sniping people thanks to his beastly speed. This, however, did not save him from Frankie's water balloon cannon. It appears that last attack has soaked me to the bone. Bone. Yahahahaho. Skull joke, he called out, causing Naruto and Luffy to lose it. Sanji saw himself as Robin's personal guard, defending her from any stray balloons, even though she was more than capable at defending herself. Chopper transformed into his heavy point and the cook involved. You'll pay for that emergency food supply, Sanji roared as he chased after Chopper, who ran away screaming in terror. The cook stopped when he sleeping Zoro. Seeing how soundly he slept, he got an evil idea. Sanji thought it was to say, Zoro was pissed when he was woken up from one of his naps. He was pissed when he looked down, seeing a on his crotch. Hey everyone, look. The idiot Mirimo pissed his pants. Sanji called out, unable to contain his laughter. It was you that did this, wasn't it, Arrow Cook? Zoro growled as he lunged at the cook. With Zoro much more hectic. Zoro dumped an inflatable pool. Don't ask where he got it. Full pink water on Sanji, turning the cook completely pink. That final straw. Everyone was now using colored water balloons, making it even more fun. The war ended when Nami stepped outside with her newest map. Neither Luffy nor Naruto noticed her right behind them. Luffy threw a balloon at Naruto, who ducked, causing the balloon to hit Nami and her map. Big mistake, covering both in red. Time seemed to stop and it got eerily quiet as their navigators stared at her ruined map. Luffy's dead, everyone thought as they watched the scene unfold right in front of them. Luffy, get your ass over here right now. Hat pirate slowly made his way over towards his navigator like a puppy that was bad. Seriously, if the man had a throw that water balloon? She asked in a sweet tone that had Luffy said, looking the other way, sweating even more. He even made a sad attempt at whistling inconspicuously. This guy has talent for lying, Kurama said. Oh really? Then how do you explain why my map and I are soaking wet? She asked. Naruto ducked when I threw that water balloon, Luffy said. Suddenly realizing what he said, he across his face. Oh shitty though. Well, he's screwed, everyone else thought. Is that? She dragged Luffy literally to her room. All that was heard for the next half hour were their captains tortured, had a demonic female's laughter pierce through them. If Nami's normal actions when she's pissed, I would hate to be on her bad side when it was her time, said to his container. Agreed, Naruto said back. As for the you wish, Nami Swan, Sanji cried with hearts floating around him. Yes mom. Everyone else, minus Robin, replied as they entered a salute. Good, I'll be back in half an hour. Expect this place to be clean by the time I get back, Nami said as she re-entered her room. Before the door shut, Naruto saw Luffy sitting on her bed Indian style, tied and gagged. Poor guy. He had a look that practically screamed, help me guys. Sorry dude, you're on your own. Nami Kurama cried as he wiped away the tears in his eyes. If there is any the hell are you talking about, Kurama? Naruto asked. I'll avoiding something. But when you are older, he roared, ending the conversation. Okay, sheesh, Naruto said as he got back to work. Half an hour, sunny orange-haired navigator stepped out of her room followed by a red, sweaty and surprisingly uninjured Luffy. Luffy, what the hell happened to you? All the guys demanded as they crowded around him. And nothing happened. Luffy Kurama said. Well, whatever happened is not our business, Naruto replied, crossing his arms. Suddenly a thought entered his mind. Don't tell me. You think we should totally stalk them and find out what happened? Yup. If we as well as code names. Answered proudly. Sound good. Wait a minute, why am I dead meat? Simple, if we are caught Nami will beat you half to death. You bastard fuzzball, you, Naruto said.